Hey everyone, Toby here with another Sprint Car Hub episode. Okay, so if you don't know what happened, back in late July, the Roth Motorsports number 83 World of Outlaws team was found to be competing with an illegal frame, resulting in the team being fined $10,000 along with driver Aaron Reutzel also being fined $10,000 and being suspended for 30 days. Since then, not only has Reutzel parted ways with Roth Motorsports, but also parting ways with the team was Australian crew chief Buswell. While there's been a bunch of speculation on the incident, it's been about 6 weeks since it happened, so I figured it was a good time to catch up with Dylan and hear what really happened. Two things before we get started with the video. First up, I said we'd give away a Sprint Car Hub beanie as soon as the YouTube channel hits 1,000 subscribers. We recently got past that 1,000 subscriber mark and I did a random draw out of 1,000 and it landed on 182. Turns out that the 182nd subscriber to the YouTube channel was Gary Brown. Now, I have no idea who that is, so if you are Gary Brown, please get in touch with one of the Sprint Car Hub social media channels so we can get that beanie sent out to you ASAP. And lastly, I've had a bunch of you message me about potential Sprint Car Hub merchandise. The truth is we are definitely working on it, but to make sure the merchandise is exactly what you, the fans, want, I've put together this survey for every Sprint Car fan to fill out and let me know what they would like to see. It takes like 2 minutes tops to fill out, so please click the link in the description below. All right, here's my chat with Dylan. Dylan, thanks for joining me, man. Obviously, I want to chat about the incident in late July that resulted in you parting with Roth Motorsports. But firstly, I really want to thank you for coming on when you really don't have to. The last 6 weeks would have been pretty hectic for you and your family. So how are you? Where are you? And what are you up to now?
I'm good. I'm at home in Knoxville. Just kind of been, I went out to California for a couple of weeks and worked for Bud Kading, really good friends with their family and, Brent Kading and Bud and Brian Mathley and all them guys out there. And I actually got a bunch of other friends out there as well. So it was cool to kind of just get away and go to a bit of different scenery for a couple of weeks and just got home at the start of this week. So not doing much right now, just doing stuff around the house. Be snowing here pretty shortly. So just getting things ready for winter and, doing odds and ends and just getting some stuff tidied up. But plan to go back to California here in first week of October, I believe. So Trophy Cup, and there's some cool races out there. So
yeah,
that'll be good to go do that. And then, in the meantime, trying to, work on what else I'm going to do full time going forward.
Let's jump into the incident in late July, because I feel that not many people understand what happened. From the outside, you were the crew chief on the Roth 83 with Aaron Reutzel driving, and as a team, you were having a decent season for your rookie season with the Outlaws. I think you had 4 wins up to that point, which is pretty decent. And all of a sudden, you guys were on the end of some suspensions and fines because you ran a car that was deemed illegal. But my understanding is that the Outlaws had allowed you to race that car previously. It was like a 10-year-old car. So can you take us back to the start? Tell us about the car when you first started using it and how that incident occurred.
Yeah, so Roth bought 5 new cars this year, Triple X's, obviously. And then Aaron has 3 cars of his own, which we would run at bigger races just because we thought they worked a little better and the tubing was, the tubing was the same. It was just, for whatever reason, the cars were a little lighter.
Were they much lighter?
It was about 10 to 15 pounds.
Okay, wow.
So, that was just kind of what we had always done. So we ran that particular car. We first put it together and ran it at the end of 19. We took it to Port Royal and we ran it at Port Royal and the World Finals. And we thought that was the first time we'd ran it. He just had it sitting around.
Wow.
And we thought it was a good car. So we put it aside and decided we'd just run it at just Knoxville the next year, which we did last year. Won a couple of local shows, started on the front row of the one and only. It was a really good car, and it passed tech, obviously, both years. So then we put it together this year for the July Outlaw race. And they tell us it fails tech. So, our counter argument was, well, you passed it twice before, and now you're not going to pass it. So, the Outlaws are pretty black and white about that. There's no, hey, run it tonight and don't bring it back or anything like that. I mean, it's 5 o'clock in the pit area. You're not running this car tonight. So, that was cool. But so we pulled it apart and just kept racing with what we had, and we weren't bad. We were winning. We won a couple of races, and I felt like we're up front for the most part. But when you're driving for your Dennis Roths, pressure's immense, and Aaron receiving some pretty brutal phone calls, and they just end up putting you in a win at all costs state of mind, and that's kind of where we ended up. You kind of start feeling like it's either do better or you're getting fired or someone's getting fired. And that's kind of where everything ended up with us. So we put it back together. Obviously, everyone knows the rest. We painted it black. We put a tech sticker on it, and we raced it and got caught. Neither of us ever cheated once in our lives. And I guess we were just naive, and we didn't really think we were cheating because it had been passed before. So in our eyes, we weren't cheating. We were just kind of a FU to the Outlaws. How can you pass something twice before and then not pass it now? Was kind of our mindset. Obviously looking back, it was stupid and a bad decision on our part, but we done it. That's what happened. It's frustrating to be now. I mean, I obviously don't cop it anywhere near as much as Aaron, but to be labeled a cheater when there's guys out there knowingly soaking tires and doing a bunch of other stuff, but no one hears about any of that. I mean, there was an outlaw champion within the last 20 years that got caught with lightweight hip rails and a car that was built that way, but there was no social media back then, so no one hears about that. So stuff like that's frustrating, and but it's the world we live in now. Everyone gets to voice their opinion and have their say, so to speak. But I mean, that's really what happened. The fallout was obviously bad for both of us, and it was a real shame, for the timing as well. I mean, I was really looking forward to nationals with Aaron. We had I just spent the whole month getting all that scheme done, painted, fit a new body, painted, decaled, everything. And the car we were going to run was actually a white frame car as well. So it would have looked even, more realistic to the 98 car. It looked really cool. So they ended up running a different car, which had a black frame. But I mean, just the whole situation was, really messed up, and I mean, is what it is now. We just try and move on.
Yeah, fair enough. Early on in your answer there, you kind of answered my next question, and that was, a lot of drivers and teams go through phases where they're starting to struggle or don't feel as comfortable in the car anymore, and I've had that personally, and you're like, I'm running the same stuff. Why am I not getting that feeling anymore, and ultimately not getting those results? And that's why I understand why drivers and teams want to change back to to what they had, and I imagine that you guys were thinking, hey, we can't make this work here. We need to try something else. And like I said, you kind of answered that before, that using an old car that you felt comfortable in. Is that why you went back to it? But moving on, I just wanted to know, like, how did Roth let you go, and what was your reaction, and how are you feeling about the penalties and aftermath now?
So they obviously found out on the night we got caught.
Yeah.
I didn't get let go until the following Thursday, and that was kind of frustrating too, because everything was kind of made out to me like I was going to be fine. Aaron's going to get suspension, blah blah blah. They were going back and forth with the Outlaws for the whole week. Sure. But it was, from them to me, it was kind of made out like I was going to be fine. Just, kind of talking about what our plans would be going forward without Aaron for at least the next weekend. They said he was for sure suspended repeatedly. So,
sure.
And then, just randomly called me on the Thursday of 360 Nationals, or Wednesday maybe. And just said that, at the end of the day, I'm the one that's in charge of everything on the road, and I should have either put a stop to it or let Todd Ventura, he's in charge of the team. I should have let him know, and basically just turns into a trust issue at that point. So I guess they obviously lost trust in me. So they kind of have someone out there running their operation with someone they can't trust. So that's, kind of the reason I got let go. And I mean, I don't really know how I feel about the rest of it, the aftermath. It's, I tried to sit back and not say anything, not read anything, not get on social media, because, there's just so many ill-formed people that run their mouth, and it's generally what happens when, these kind of things go down. So I've just kind of tried to stay away from all of that, and just try to, get a clear head and try to figure out a path moving forward. I really would have liked to finish the year out. Obviously, at least complete one full year on the Outlaws would have been cool. But I feel like we're having a pretty solid year. I know our expectations weren't super high. We weren't expecting to roll in and win 10 races. We were kind of thinking 4 or 5 would be a really solid year for our first time, and we're on target for that. So it really would have been nice to finish the year out on the Outlaws, but is what it is now. We'll just try and move forward.
The last few weeks have obviously been tough for you. Have any of your peers, like other drivers, teams and that, reach out to you in support?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, quite a few actually. A lot of people from home too, which has been really cool. Actually, probably more so people from home just messaging me, to see how I'm doing, or, what I'm up to and stuff, which has been really cool. Obviously, my wife's been great support, has my back no matter what. So, that side of it's actually been really good. I was talking to my dad quite a bit. He's been really good as well. And some people just, help me keep my head up and, try to get my focus shift to moving past it and, what's next.
What's your relationship like with Aaron now? Because Aaron is now obviously just recently stepped into the 8 car that I think Linton Jeffrey was driving, which was an 83 at the time. Aaron's working with Tyler Swank there. What are your plans, and do you have anything lined up? Because I originally thought it looked like that you got along with Aaron really well, and I thought that you guys may stay together.
We're still good friends. Nothing's changed there. He obviously got offered that deal. They already had Swank in place, so that they weren't really after a mechanic as well, which is fine. I obviously would have loved to kept racing with him wherever that was. But, I'm a realist and understand, especially in this sport, it's not always, how you want it to work out. But no, happy for him that he found something. I hope they go do good things. But as far as myself goes, I've spoke to quite a few people. I just, I don't want to go jump into the wrong thing and be unhappy or, just at the end of the day, it's my living, but, I want to enjoy it as well. But also at the same time, the mortgage is still going to come out next month. So I kind of got to, figure it out here pretty quickly. But at the same time, I don't want to jump into something and then something else come along that, would have suited me a lot better. So finding, just trying to figure it all out is doing my head in a little bit, actually. Hopefully, I'm just going to hopefully get through to the end of next month and have something locked in by then would be nice.
Fair enough. I really like Aaron's driving style because he's aggressive. He completely backs himself, and it shows by how confident he drives on the racetrack. What was it like to work as a crew chief with Aaron driving?
I was nervous a lot. No, it was good, really good. There's no better feeling as a mechanic than watching your car enter the corner harder than anyone else, or your guy just sending it basically all the time. So no, I thoroughly enjoyed racing with Aaron, and hopefully can do again in the future. It was, when you're racing with someone that's one of your best mates, it's different as well. We never, there's a lot of guys out there that crew chiefs and drivers don't get along. I mean, they still might be fast, but it's just, a working relationship where it was never like that with us. We're best mates. So, especially when we done well, it was really, really rewarding. When you race well and do good with one of your best friends is, pretty good feeling. But yeah, I mean, exciting to watch for sure. We never really argued or anything like that. We worked pretty good together, I felt like. And like I said, it'd be nice to work with him again, but who knows if that day will come. Maybe not.
Do you have plans on coming back to work in Australia at all? Obviously, there's COVID restrictions and stuff like that. I hate bringing that up, but do you still, is that your ideal plan to work over there and come back here? Or are you, say, with an outlaw tour, if you were, staying doing that, do you think that you would just make that your priority and stay over there during the winter?
I'd love to come back. I haven't seen my family in 3 years.
Wow.
But, I mean, you basically just said it just there. I mean, if it was an outlaw deal, then probably not coming home, maybe a week or two around Christmas time just to see people, but probably not coming back to work. But, situation I'm in now, I mean, I'd love to come back this summer. If, unless I get something lined up that I wouldn't be able to. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to come home and work at least for a month or 6 weeks or something. Would be cool. So, I mean, obviously the COVID deals just unbelievable. I'm sick of reading about it, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd love to come back and at least spend, the classic, and I always miss going to them races, and it's sucked being over here having to watch them races that I grew up going to as a kid, and haven't been able to get there for a couple of years.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Sprinker Hub YouTube channel. You can also find Sprinker Hub on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for watching.